Terima kasih. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I begin my presentation, I would like to ask the audience if there is some of you that can sing. Any kind of singing that is not require perfect tone, and please. My presentation is all about my memories being a traditional Javanese court dance and Javanese pencaksilat. And all my experience, masa lalu and masa kini and also masa depan that I would like to share. And what I would like to do is presenting myself first. So please begin singing whenever I am coming forward toward you. Yes, just keep singing. Make some beautiful energy to me so we can share the energy, both of us, for the audience. Okay? Okay. Mengaranglah bunga di karang mengandung sayang tidak bertani. Tabiklah kincir tuan semua. Saya nak minta ngandung sayang, mohon berhenti. Letihlah badan, tidak tertanggung. Lidik terlilit nandung sayang di kaki dulang. Jangan doa jo, mek mulunglah kami. Mek mulung kami nandung sayang, mohon berhenti. I was trained in Javanese classical court dances, Surakarta style, in Solo City, in Magelang, apologize, when I was, where I grew up. I was born in Kalimantan. My father happened that he told me 2 years before he passed away, told me that he's Dayak from Kutai, East Kalimantan. He's a Kenya, Dayak Kenya. My mom, Javanese Chinese, born in Magelang, in Central Java, near Borobudur Temple. And that's where I grew up. I was born in South Kalimantan, where my father and his family was moving from Kutai to Banjarmasin. When during his high school, he went to Magelang to study high school, where he met my mom. Then finally they falling in love. And my father took my mom to Kalimantan to meet his parents, but his parents said, no, you're not allowed to marry Javanese woman. So he continue marrying her, and I was born in the small jungle in Banjarmasin with a lot of rubber tree that I remember. Then until I was 6. Then we moved back to Magelang without saying any goodbye. Then my father just shut his mouth and say, I'm not Kalimantan, I'm not Dayak, I'm a Javanese. So luckily he was adopted by this Javanese doctor who master on wayang orang, and he's a rawana player, and he's a master also of pencak silat. So all the boys in our family, in my adopted grandfather family back then, has to dancing Javanese dance and study Javanese dance, court dancing with him on Saturday and silat on Sunday. Then I was until I was 13. Then I got my grandfather passed away, and I got studied too with a small community in Magelang, where I also introduced Jatilan, Kuda Lumping. I was trans, I was eating raw chicken and all the glasses and everything. And then I moved to Solo, to Surakarta in the 1989, and I started my college in 1990 at EC Solo. That's where I began to understand that dance is not only Javanese dance, and it's not only Silat that I can pursue. I studied many dances, my school. Then very fortunate that I got to study abroad for my master's in America, finished my doctoral program as well. And I'm teaching now at ISI Surakarta, the Indonesian Institute for the Arts. And another lucky thing that I received was actually and then I introduced by this small island in West Halmahera in North Maluku, where I met Soya Soya, Ligu Salai, and Sara Dabi Dabi dance with this boy, and I create Cry Jai Lolo. So that all memories is is embodied in my body. As I can just without warming up, without nothing, this is just improvised. I was just listening this beautiful voice of Abang, siapa namanya Bang? Saf. That I connect with him through his musicality of his voice. And I try to connect it so I can share it to you. And furthermore, I would like to share what I have done after I went to North Maluku and Cry Jai Lolo, and until this year, starting last year, then I moved to Papua, which is still in eastern part of Indonesia. And I feel like it should be about the time that it's not about Java anymore or Bali anymore. Need to be something else that I need to pursue this acknowledgement of culture that is so diverse in Indonesia. 800,000 island in Indonesia. And we are lucky now that we have a Ministry of Culture, separate with, with the Ministry of Education. But we'll see what's happening with the new ministry and the new government. So I'm a professional diver. I'm a dive master certificate. And that's where I call my presentation diving culture, which I would like to share. What does that mean by diving culture? Next one. The first piece is called Cry Jailulu. Jailulu crying. It's not a literally crying, but the spirit of what happening in Jailulu in West Halmahera after the 1998, I believe, which has a conflict between Muslim and Christian. In Ambon, in Maluku, and then spread out throughout the Maluku Island and North Maluku. And some of these boys has affected on that. House get burned, father, mother, sister, and brother got killed. Left alone. And the other boys was really wanted to be a military guy or police. That's the only option that they can do. Otherwise, they have to get married and taking care of the kabun in the mountain. It was Cry Jailulu the first time I opened my eyes that again Java dance is not only Javanese dance. Dance is not only about chord and something that is connected to the people, the community, and the tradition that is long been created and processed. And within Cry Jailulu, within West Halmahera, North Maluku, I began to realize that time, to 2011, when I invited by the region of West Halmahera to create a festival that Indonesia happening, that with the Ministry of Tourism wanted to create a local cultural events that is big and huge, involving the local community and everything, local arts and cultures. And I'm a Javanese and I'm study in America. I study ballet, American modern dance, and postmodern dance, and postmodern dance, and many other dance. When I came there, I was like, what should I do? They know nothing about dance. Legu Salai, I was introduced Legu Salai, Sarada Bidabi, and Soya Soya. Those are traditional dance that is very popular and very rooted within the culture of North Maluku. It's about war. It's about ritual of cleansing the water, cleansing the ocean, preserving the mountain, waterfall and all. So I say yes to the mayor, to the region, with two conditions: that I have to stay there for 1 year to do a research, to observe, because I don't want to be the else or the others, like Rustam Barusa said. So I want to live within it, and I want to go deeper into the culture. So the mayor say, well, you can do whatever you want, but you have to do something different in the festival for tourism in 2012, 2013. Then I stayed there, and I went around and see the performance, the dance, the ritual, the music, the carving, everything that happening in Jailulu. Have 4 tribes in Jailulu, divided by 4 big tribes. And then I saw all those 3 dances that I mentioned before was only performed by these boys or girls within the age of 6 to 10 or 12. or rather elders, 40 and up. So the gap of the youth are missing. No one after elementary, after middle school, they continue dancing, and that's bizarre. That's sad. So I was just telling the mayor I was looking for the master of the dance that live in Jailulu, even from the different tribe. So I I invite them to teach all the boys. I am sort of like pushing and uh, how do you call it? I call it they must come. All the high school kid must come and to do the audition with me. Uh, Instead, I did the audition. I was forcing them to study their dancing. The Soya Soya, Legu Salai, and Saradabi Dabi dance. We did the masters. And I watched. I'm so happy to watch them continue within the gap of this youth, 15, 16, 17. So a year happening, and I was just completely happy, and they are mastered it already. And all the masters, all the elders are happy with that happening because they thought that I'm going to teach them Javanese dance. And of course, I'm not. So 450 kids, and I creating a work with the festival, which I feel like this is a one key. The first key that I would like to mention that I'm going to presenting also is I want to empower them. I want to realize. I want them to realize that they have a power. They have the beautiful thing in their culture. They have the beautiful thing in their dance, and that's important to to understanding as a their own identity. So I did, and then unfortunately the mayor was also professional diver, and he forced me. He forced me to dive. He even like literally went with me and like you must dive. If you want to work here another 17 years, then you have to dive. I'm a Javanese from Magelang who is a farmer culture, which afraid with water, cannot swim. And he said, "Oh, diving is not about swimming. Diving is about drowning." I take that as a compliment. So I went and I did. And I said the first time I dive, and I said, "Pak Namto, I want to dive every day." Because I saw this beautiful thing. I saw this another world that is in the underwater. Then I dive every day. And the more I dive, the more I said, tears coming in my eyes. And I said, that's beautiful but sad because there's no more coral in Jailolo. Coral was destroyed by this fisherman by bombing to catch the fish. And I saw this schooling fish, from this tiny schooling fish until shark schooling fish. Within that couple months, I feel like then I went up to see Pak Namto, the region. I said, Pak Namto, I want to create a contemporary dance based on that fish to introduce Jailolo to the world. And I want to do it as a silent tourism because you've been spending a lot of money for these cultural events every year. It's good, but then need to be move on and need to be something that advance for that. So I did that without knowing anything. What should I do? And fortunately, again, I was just very happy because my colleague, my teacher, my friend, Dr. Joseph Gonzalez from Aswara, was asking me to do Tari 13. And I was creating this work, Cry Jai Lolo, within 20-minute version of it, with 7 boys that I choose from that 450 kids following year. So I did. I went to Aswara. I went to KL to premiere the work. Then I continue working on that piece, and fortunate again that a lot of producer was asking for the tour, and they never went outside from the island before. So taking effort of taking the plane and getting passport and everything that we all know, all that challenge. So then happened. Then the second, the Jailolo been touring, and then the second piece was Bala Bala, the girls. Because after that Cry Jailolo tour, all the producer and festival director that invite me for the Cry Jailolo, they said they asked me what you gonna do again, Eko, after this. I want to create something again from Jailolo but women. So on and on, on and on. I made the piece Bala Bala. Bala Bala in Sahu language mean the rise of woman, bangkitnya perempuan. And there's a lot of conflict between, I mean not conflict, but problem with women in eastern part of Indonesia, particularly in Jailolo. So I create Bala Bala, and they give us a co-production. I was like, what is that? Well, we give you, we invest you some money so you can work on this piece. How long you need it for this piece? I need like a year and a half to create this work. So I got 10 of co-production. I was just like, we were suffering to get money. We were suffering. Cry Jailolo was support by the region, everything from the region, from the government of local government. But with Bala Bala, I got this co-production. I got even 12 co-production, and we were touring. So Cry Jailolo and Bala Bala were touring since 2013 until 2018. And then I create Salt, next one. Memang koreografi underwater atau dancing underwater atau film underwater yang sudah dilakukan oleh banyak orang. Tetapi bagi saya bukan itu. Salt tidak hanya melulu pada betapa saya dari pengalaman menyelam atau diving, kemudian saya pindahkan ke panggung. Gitu. Bagi saya adalah pengalaman atau studi ketubuhan tentang zona yang berbeda. Zona panggung dan zona anti gravitasi. Kekaguman saya, bagaimana penjelajahan saya, eksplorasi saya di bawah air merupakan satu bentuk studi yang sangat luar biasa bagi saya seorang penari yang mengekspresikan karyanya lewat gerak, mengekspresikannya lewat penjelajahan ruang-ruang repertoar gerak baru. Dari Salt ini, saya akan menawarkan sebuah imajinasi, sebuah ruang interpretasi tentang studi ketubuhan. Dengan 17.000 pulau yang terhampar luas di Indonesia, dengan bahari yang luar biasa, saya percaya bahwa masa depan tari juga ada di bawah laut. The future of dance lies underwater. So that 4 years working in Cry Jailolo and Bala Bala, everyday diving, this is what I found. That I am a farmer culture, I'm a petani, anak petani, then coming to the water culture that is so different. Javanese is more grounded, more plie, membumi. But Jailolo is more about waving of this water. And deep there, there's a beauty of it. And as a dancer, we need to explore that. Breathing system, balance system, awareness and imagination of the color of the creature around us, that we are in the daily life, in the state that we control everything. Oh, I want that light coming from the front light, not from the side light. Maybe a bit from the back light. But in the underwater, I cannot do that. So that's challenge, and that's really research, long research for me to create sound. And then I working with Arco Rens is my dramaturg from Germany, Belgium, that really guide me and asking me a lot of questions. So I was able to investigating a lot of things that happen within that research. So even the body, the dance is not about where you're coming from and what you have in your body. It's all about something also that you can pursue in a different way, in a different approach, and a different perspective. So that's salt. And literally about my journey from Jatilan to underwater, to defining something deep image of underwater. The last one.
Merah putih ini kilikuen.
Okay, the last slide. Yeah, that one. So last piece, last video was Ibu Ibu Belu that I created in 2017. Again, within the traditional dance, furthermore east of West Halmahera in Belu, Nusa Tenggara Timur, East Nusa Tenggara, which is the borders between Indonesia and Timor-Leste, which used to be together, one family, one culture, one thing. They cannot be separate. They just exchange the tenun by crossing the small river. Exchange the likurai, which is the traditional dance of Timor. They cannot because they have to go get passport. And when they have to exchange the ritual of marriage or birth, they just do it. But then now they have to, I don't know, complex. So different with Jailolo, West Halmahera, they are youth, but now they are actually Ibu Guru. They're all teachers, high school teachers. Math teacher, religion teacher, apalagi kimia, guru kimia. And they all dancing likurai since maybe they were born, maybe they were still in the stomach of their mom. Because traditional in Belu is almost the same as in Bali. All the family has to learn how to weave the tenun and how to dance likurai. And most of the family there have at least 3 kids, and they're all women, most of them. So when I create the same thing as Jailolo, with the region asking me to do the festival again in that region, so I asked them, is it possible to get likurai dancer for 500 or 1,000? Oh, Masiko, you want a 10,000? We can make it happen. And then yes, it because all the family has to dancing likurai and has to make a waving the tenun. So it's easy to get it. So I asked for 7,000. And then again, because it's the borders between Indonesia and Timor-Leste side wanted to join with the festival. So they sent like 1,500 dancers from Timor-Leste in Fulanfe on the hills that you saw in the video. There's a sacred hills in Belu that is really exactly on the top of Indonesia and Timor-Leste. So you can see above on the left side is actually Indonesia and the right side is actually Timor-Leste. So I create that festival and then again I choose 6 dancers, 6 ibu-ibu to making contemporary based on the traditional. So first I will have to empower them. I have to make them believe that what they have is very powerful and need to be shown in the world. And of course, the second one is actually I want them to understanding the spirit of that value of traditional dance. It's not about the movement. It's not about the waving. It's not about the choreography or something that connected to ritual. Lifting the potential of tradition, then adding the creativity, and continuing as a global discourses. So when I said Timor-Leste and Indonesia has been separated since tahun berapa? Unidira? Lupa ya, saya juga lupa. 98? Yeah, maybe 97. Yeah, so I took that discourse of borders. Because if I wanted presenting Ibu Belu within the likurai dance only or waving, then again, what Said will say, oh, you are the others, Eko. You know, we are always being exoticized. So what I did is actually trying to make it this work that it can be stay and putting in the table as the same as Pina Bausch, for example, Akram Khan, you know, name it. You know, people that is very famous in the world of dance. And I said that within these discourses of the theme of borders, I'm not even just lifting the likurai or the tenun, but lifting the thing that is happening now in the world. This piece was actually asking when Ukraine and Russia was on the war first year. It was one of my friend who we met in Iran back in '99. We were the same in the school at UCLA. She was asking me to performing Ibu Belu in the ruined part of the Ukraine. Yeah, and we were just thinking of it until now. We just cannot. I don't know. We have to think twice, many times. So anyway, so not presenting likurai and not presenting the traditional dance, but I would say that I'm adding some global discourse of borders. Used to be Indonesia and Timor-Leste, as I said, when they do the ritual, they do the ceremony, they just cross the river, they cross everything very easily because they are family used to be. But now they cannot because it has to be borders. It has to be, you know, physically borders. As we know that we going to our, you know, friend's room. Even before I got here, I have to go to the departure record to fill out and show my passport and everything, and that happening in the world. Ibu-ibu Belu, borders in Belu got hurt by that border happening. Meaning, it's not only just hurting, but it's inviting a lot of perspective and a lot of imagination of what is that borders mean for us. Mean for us, literally, not to mention, the color skin, the nationality or whatever. Just borders, and there is the borders that they need to considering, and we can just talk more about it. So that's happening with Ibu-Ibu Belu and Krai Jailolo and Bala Bala as well. Krai Jailolo is making more the theme of environment, marine life, that all the destruction underwater is happening not only in West Halmahera but all over the world. Ibu Belu is about rising, bangkitnya perempuan is all about woman. Even my mom, I got this really personal experience. Feminism, whatever they call it, it's happening. So try to pursue that. And I think that's the power of tradition today, that they need to be moving forward onto that direction. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.